In conjunction with the Britfield players, we the kids are proud to present Britfield and the Lost Crown. This radio show is designed to bring to life a powerful story promoting the themes of family, friendship, and courage. The Britfield radio show is meant to engage and entertain you with an inspiring story while offering a fun family experience. The setting is a special library, special because, well, often the readers are visited by authors from the past. Today, we'll visit with kids from We the Kids who are studying to be journalists, focusing on past history. An author from the past has just joined the group, in fact. Let's listen in to find out who the kids are talking to and what they're talking about. Have fun exploring the world of Britfield and the Lost Crown.
Hello, Cowis here. I'm your We the Kids reporter here in London. Imagine you're in an old library surrounded by dusty books and flickering candles. You're part of a group of children curious about the world of literature and eager to learn. Suddenly, a gentle voice murmurs to you from behind a shelf. It's Charlotte Bronte.
Ah, dear children, I'm so glad you're here. I know you're curious about the world of books, and I'm happy to share some of my thoughts with you. You see, when I was a child, I loved to read and write. I would spend hours in my room imagining stories and creating worlds. As I grew older, I realized that I wanted to share those stories with others. What are your names?
I'm Mallory.
Hi, I'm Jack.
I'm Henry.
I am Mara.
My name is Afton.
I'm Aaliyah.
I am Sammy.
And I'm Libby.
Your reputation is enhanced by the good opinion of others, I'm pleased to say. I'm charmed to make your acquaintance. Ah, Miss Mallory, I'm so glad we've met at last. I've heard splendid things about you.
Thank you, Miss Bronte. You wrote wonderful poetry and stories. My favorite was Jane Eyre, but you wrote that story using a different name, Cora Bell. Can I ask why?
Of course you can, dear Mallory. I lived in a time in the early 1800s where people didn't understand that women could accomplish great things. I didn't want my stories to be shunned because I was a woman. Who is the next one to be called upon? Ah, yes, Miss Afton.
I remember Jane Eyre. She was an orphan, just like Tom, but her life was quite different. She knew her parents died. Jane became successful because she believed in herself. A good lesson for us all. Miss Bronte, what do you think makes a good story?
Ah, I see. You think it's the adventure, the excitement, and the magical creatures. Those things make a story come alive. But for me, it's not just about the plot or the characters. It's about the emotions, the feelings that make us human. You see, as a writer, I wanted to explore the world of emotions, to understand what makes us tick, what makes us happy, sad, and scared. And I think that's what I hope to leave with you, dear children. A sense of wonder, a sense of curiosity, and a sense of empathy for others. Jack, what is the story you are listening to?
Yeah, we are listening to Britfield and the Lost Crown. It is a story about Tom, an orphan, and his adventure to find his parents.
Ah, I love hearing about your favorite stories. Can you share what you've learned about this adventure so far? Alaya, what do you think?
In the first story, we learned that Tom, an orphan, just found out that his parents might still be alive. Tom and his friend escaped from the orphanage.
The police are chasing them.
Oh, Sammy, go ahead, dear.
When Tom and Sarah head towards London, where they meet Philip, a caretaker at Windsor Castle. Philip questions Tom, who learns that the Britfield family might be his parents.
Tom and Sarah stay at Windsor Castle. Philip thinks orphan Tom may be the missing Britfield heir and is determined to find out. Tom overhears two people talking about Philip ordering the elimination of Tom, Sarah, and Mr. Hainsworth, who has been helping Tom and Sarah.
They escape just before the police could capture them. They land at King's College, and with the help of Dr. Beagleswick, Tom learns about the history of the Britfields. They hear the police and run again.
What an adventure! I do hope the children are successful and not harmed. So, tell me, my dear children, what do you think of the Britfield and the Lost Crown?
I am excited and can't wait for the next chapter. Will Tom find his parents? Are his parents the true heir to the crown?
Marvelous. Most importantly, always remember that you have a unique voice, a unique perspective that no one else has. So don't be afraid to share it with the world.
Do you have any advice for young writers like yourselves?
Yes. Always remember that writing is a journey, not a destination. It's a way to express yourself, to share your thoughts and feelings with others. And don't be afraid to take risks, to try new things, and to experiment with different styles.
Thank you, Miss Charlotte. Will you listen with us?
Dear Merit, of course I will. It is I who should be thanking you. You're the reason I write, the reason I shared my stories with the world. Keep reading, keep writing, and never stop dreaming.
This is author C.R. Stewart. Enjoy listening to Britfield and the Lost Crown, a fast-paced, exciting adventure that will transport you from the smoldering crags of Yorkshire, through the heart of England, and finally to the magnificent shores of Dover. One of the most awarded books in fiction, Britfield is about family, friendship, and courage. This presentation is in partnership with We the Kids, a national organization that has inspired hundreds of children by involving them and their parents in exciting radio, TV, and on-site projects.
Dressed for the day, Tom walks to his bedroom door, but it's locked. He jiggles the doorknob, but it won't open. Tom begins to tap on the thick wooden panel.
Hey, is anyone out there? The door won't open.
Tom hears whispers of two people on the opposite side.
We are supposed to keep them here for another hour.
Philip is planning to move the children to a new location where they'll be dealt with.
What about the professor?
He'll be eliminated as well. We're the only ones who know they landed here last night. Let's keep it that way. Tom jumps back from the door, almost afraid to touch it.
Eliminated? We've been betrayed. I've got to warn Sarah.
Tom looks around the room for another way out, then opens one of the windows and climbs onto a narrow ledge 3 stories up. As he takes a few steps, he falters on the slippery surface, but quickly regains his balance. He continues shuffling along to Sarah's window and peeks inside. Already dressed, Sarah's knocking on her bedroom door, trying to open it. Tom gently taps on the window glass. Puzzled, she hastens to the window and opens it.
Not this again. What are you doing out there? We must leave Windsor Castle. Why? What's going on? They locked my door too. I think they want to send us back to Weatherly and do something to the professor. But I thought Philip was helping us. No, he can't be trusted. Are you still afraid of heights? After the balloon? Are you kidding me? Good. Let's find the professor and leave. We'll climb down the corner of the downspout.
Tom and Sarah step onto the ledge and head to the corner. Standing in his office, Philip listens to his cell phone. Coldwell nervously stands nearby.
Yes, I'm as shocked as you are. I just found out last night. I believe the boy has been alive this entire time. Well, I can't be sure, but the child fits the profile and has similar traits. A DNA test would verify it. Yes, sir. Finish what we started. I'll see to it.
After Philip ends the call, he gives Coldwell an icy glare.
They're making arrangements. In a few more minutes, we'll have a location to take them. You have no idea the trouble you created.
I promise you, I won't fail this time.
Your life depends on it.
A distressed footman enters the office.
Sir, we just received word that Detective Gowerstone and the police are on their way. We're supposed to detain the 2 children and the professor.
What? How did the police find out?
I don't know. Maybe one of the royal guards?
What does Detective Gowerstone want with the children?
All I know is the 2 escaped from an orphanage and he's been tracking them.
What a mess! Bring them from their rooms. I'll stall the detective when he arrives.
Climbing down from the ledge, Tom and Sarah sneak around the exterior castle.
Where could the professor be? He wasn't in his bedroom. Maybe she's in the library?
As Sarah watches the exterior, Tom peeks in a window and sees Hainsworth resting in a leather chair, a book in his lap.
I see him. He's sleeping. Sleeping? I hope he's okay.
Tom and Sarah open the window and enter the library. Tom runs to Hainsworth and shakes his shoulder.
Professor, wake up!
What time is it?
Sarah tugs on Hainsworth's arm.
Professor, we've got to get out of here.
What's wrong?
It's not safe. Philip can't be trusted.
What are you talking about?
He locked us in our rooms and wants to do something with us.
Why would Philip do that?
We don't know, but we need to get to the balloon and leave.
Sarah and Tom pull Hainsworth to his feet, and they hurry outside. At the main castle entrance, there is loud knocking. Philip calmly opens the front door. Detective Garrowstone storms in, followed by a group of policemen.
What may I do for you, Detective?
I'm here for the two children, Tom and Sarah. Take me to them immediately.
What have they done?
None of your concern.
Sir, with all due respect, you're on royal property.
And you're interfering with my investigation. Now stop stalling and show me where they are.
As you wish, right this way.
How did the children end up in Windsor Castle?
The whole thing is quite a mystery.
Humor me with the specifics.
Their balloon crashed on our front lawn last night.
Why wasn't it reported to the authorities?
I know Dr. Hainsworth, one of the passengers. He was my professor at Oxford.
How convenient.
Garrowstone motions to the policemen.
Search the entire castle and find them.
Tom, Sarah, and Hainsworth hide behind a building corner, looking at the balloon. It appears ready for takeoff.
It's just sitting there.
After he arrived last night, Philip must have told the servants to have it ready this morning.
What should we do, Professor? Should we try for the balloon?
That may be our only way out of here.
Seeing that nobody is guarding it, they run across the grass field and climb into the basket. Alerted, royal guards head toward the balloon. Garrowstone sees them through a window and hurries from the castle with two policemen.
The royal guards are coming!
Untie the ropes!
Tom and Sarah unhook the ropes from inside the basket. As the balloon soars into the sky, Hainsworth, Tom, and Sarah glance over the side. As the royal guards raise their rifles, Garrowstone runs over with the policemen.
No one fire.
The royal guards hesitate, then lower their weapons.
Sir, what are your instructions?
I think Philip knows more than he's telling us. Arrest him. Then take him to New Scotland Yard. We'll track the balloon.
Right away, sir. The policeman hurries away. From a distance, Coldwell and Philip watch the balloon disappear.
At least the police didn't get them. We still have time. They'll be heading to London. The professor mentioned a friend at King's College, specializing in royal history. Find that professor, and you'll find the boy.
And when I locate them?
No more mistakes. Get rid of them. All of them.
As the balloon climbs, Windsor Castle fades in the hazy clouds. Tom works the funnel, and Sarah controls the exhaust rope. Puzzled by the events, Hainsworth is in a daze.
Where should we go? London, just like we planned. Professor?
I'm so sorry for what's happened. I'm at loss for words.
It's not your fault.
But why would Philip want to harm you?
We don't know. Everything was fine until Tom mentioned the Britfields. Then Philip started acting strangely. Even angry, if you ask me. He took the subject very seriously.
He would. His entire life has been devoted to protecting the crown.
But at what cost? Professor, can Tom be connected to the Britfields?
The subject is beyond me. When we arrive in London, we'll visit Dr. Beagleswick.
As Sarah works the ropes, Tom reaches in the bench for the binoculars and finds a small black device tucked in a corner. He hands the object to Hainsworth, who carefully examines it.
What is it, Professor?
It looks like a tracking device. I presume it's how Detective Garrowstone followed us. He must have put it in the balloon when we were at Oxford.
And it explains how he knew we were at Windsor Castle. What should we do?
Get rid of it. Quickly.
Smiling, Tom tosses the device over the side. They continue their flight, navigating around Heathrow Airport and gliding above Richmond Park, its vast acres covered with patches of trees and roaming deer. As the balloon approaches London, its majestic outline grows with every passing second. After a break in the clouds, Sarah points to the skyline.
Look! I can see London!
Tom and Sarah share the binoculars, dazzled by the wonderful sights, the grand townhouses of Kensington and Notting Hill, Holland Park buzzing with activity, Piccadilly Circus crowded with tourists, Buckingham Palace and Westminster Abbey, the Thames flowing past the House of Parliament, Big Ben soaring into the sky, Tower Bridge crossing the river, black cabs and red double-decker buses dashing everywhere.
It's absolutely brilliant.
There's nothing like London, a magnificent city. By the way, I never asked. What are your plans?
We don't really know, but anything's better than Weatherly. I could find a job. I don't mind working, as long as I get paid for it. And not work all the time. And explore London, play in the park, and eat whatever we want. Visit museums and libraries. And have some fun growing up.
That sounds like a marvelous plan.
Where should we land?
We need to find an open space, perhaps Hyde Park. Not ideal, but it might just work.
Starting to descend, the balloon flies toward Hyde Park. its grass fields and walkways crowded with people scattered throughout the 600 acres. Several of them sight the balloon and point. Tom peers over the edge and searches for an open area.
It's too crowded. We need to find somewhere else to land.
Aim for Serpentine Lake.
Hand on the burner rope, Tom gives it a blast. The balloon rises again just feet above people's heads as it approaches the shoreline. Sarah rushes to Tom's side.
Wait, I can't swim!
It's too late. The balloon drops toward the icy water. White-faced, Sarah clutches Tom. The balloon splashes down and the basket tips over, dumping the trio into the murky water. While listening to updates on his cell phone, an officer drives a police car towards the city. Gowerstone sits in the passenger seat, anxious to find the children.
Sir, I just received word that the balloon crashed in Hyde Park.
Is everyone all right? Are the children hurt?
I don't know. That's all that was reported.
All right, we need to hurry. Get there as fast as possible and dispatch teams to the park.
Soaking wet, Tom and Hainsworth help Sarah to the shoreline. She coughs as she struggles to catch her breath. A few bystanders watch with interest.
That's it. Keep breathing.
You all right?
Sarah opens her eyes and glares at Tom.
I told you I couldn't swim.
Scared the life out of me. I thought you were gone.
So did I.
In the distance, approaching police sirens are heard.
I hate to rush you, but we need to leave.
If you're okay to move, we should find somewhere safe to stay.
I haven't come this far to get caught now.
As Sarah nods, Tom and Hainsworth help her stand.
I suppose this is more than you bargained for, Professor.
You don't have to stay with us anymore. We'd understand.
Are you kidding? Aside from Sarah nearly drowning, it's been the best time I've ever had in years. Perhaps a lifetime.
But you got us to London like you promised.
No buts. Let's see this thing through to the end. While we're in London, it's my treat. We'll stay at the Duke's Hotel in St. James. The manager, Brandon, was a student of mine. We should be safe there. At least for now. We could clean up and rest. Then I'll call Dr. Beagleswick.
Tom, Hainsworth, and Sarah disappear through the gathering crowd and hurry toward the city. Standing on a bridge in Hyde Park, Gowerstone looks through his binoculars at the chaotic sight, the hot air balloon draped over the lake. Scanning the area, he sees 3 figures running away and calls in the sighting on his cell phone.
I spotted the children. They're headed towards St. James. Get all available officers to the location and keep me updated.
Although the police thoroughly searched St. James, they couldn't find a single clue or reliable witness. London was just too big of a city to cover. After interrogating Philip at New Scotland Yard, Detective Gowerstone learns that Tom and Sarah might be going to King's College. He gathered a team of officers and headed to the campus. Hours later, after checking in at the Duke's Hotel, Tom, Sarah, and Hainsworth took a cab to King's College. They found the campus directory listing the faculty and stand by a door in the history department.
Do you think your friend will know about the Britfields?
If anyone does, it's Dr. Beagleswick.
Tom gives the door a gentle knock. There are noises of shuffling papers and banging drawers. The handle turns and the door slowly squeaks open, revealing a feeble little man, scarcely 5 feet tall. With a long, crooked nose and a tiny patch of hair on each side of his bald head, he adjusts his narrow spectacles.
Yes. What is it?
Dr. Beagleswick?
That's correct. What do you want?
Hainsworth steps forward into view.
My good friend and colleague.
Dr. Hainsworth! Brilliant. Come in.
Everyone enters the office and finds a chair to sit in. The cluttered room has ancient maps, lineage charts, and diagrams of British dynasties pinned to the walls.
What can I do for you?
We're interested in any recent information about the Britfield dynasty.
Britfields? That's a name that causes a lot of trouble. Never talked about in universities today.
I know it's a delicate subject. However, it's not an area of my expertise.
It's no one's expertise and should be left that way.
You must know something.
What does this have to do with you?
We think that Tom may be connected to the family.
Impossible. There's no one left.
I understand it's a sensitive topic, but you're our only hope in finding the truth.
Apprehensive, Dr. Beagleswick removes his glasses, cleans the lenses with a handkerchief, then carefully places them back on.
Well, there might be someone left.
Anything would be helpful.
Dr. Beagleswick walks to a file cabinet, removes a set of keys from a pocket, and unlocks the bottom drawer. Tugging it open, Dr. Beagleswick rummages through the files, grabs a folder with a royal crest on the front, and returns to the chair.
I've been collecting information for years. It's not right to suppress the past.
History is history and should be taught as such. Britfield, where to begin?
We know about Queen Victoria, Lord Torrington, and the banishing of the Britfields.
Nasty business that was. A low point in our illustrious history. Few know of it. Not many documents left. Because of Queen Victoria's popularity, nothing could be done to challenge her claim to the throne, so the Britfields waited. Those who didn't leave Britain moved to southern England and hid in isolated manors along the coast.
Why did they stay at all, knowing they could be killed?
This was their country. They had every right to be here, and they didn't like being told otherwise. Stubborn people, those Britfields. Strong-minded and unwavering.
Sarah smiles at Tom, noting the characteristic.
When Queen Victoria died in 1901, she was succeeded by her son, Edward VII, who was also German. When his son, George V, became king, he changed their last name to Windsor, the current dynasty. At this point, the Britfields hoped to reclaim their throne, but World War I started. When it ended, Britain was devastated. 2 decades later was World War II, even more costly. Although Britain won, no one wanted any more fighting, especially over royal claims.
But that's not fair.
Life is usually like that, my young friend. Still, the Windsor dynasty never felt safe, so they searched for any remaining Britfields. Anyone found was quickly removed.
That's awful.
Yes, it was.
Dr. Beagleswick checks for any current information.
It seems the last remaining family moved to a secret location in Kent. Decades had passed without trouble until one day the Britfields were betrayed by a friend. Their house was found and their only child, a son, was taken. That happened 10 years ago and ended any hope for the future of Britfield.
How do you know all this?
A trusted friend and acquaintance.
Did they ever find the child?
No. The Britfields stayed for years, hiding in different locations and hoping their son would be recovered, but he was never found. Devastated, they left England forever. But where they are, or if they're still alive, no one knows.
This acquaintance, is it possible for us to speak?
No, much too dangerous. I've already told you too much.
If there's a link between Tom and the Britfields, it must be pursued.
Please, can you help us?
Flustered, Dr. Beagleswick takes a deep breath.
My contact is the Archbishop of Canterbury. He was the Britfields' closest friend. If anyone knows where they are, he does.
Then we'll visit him.
Wait, there's one more thing. Someone else who betrayed the Britfields.
Loud footsteps are heard echoing in the hallway.
Quick! Lock the door!
Tom rushes to the door, turns a key, and backs away. Coldwell stands on the other side, his image seen through the frosty glass. The door shakes, followed by violent pounding.
We need to escape. Tom, the window.
Hurrying to the window, Tom opens it and motions everyone over. Sarah swiftly climbs through and drops to the ground 10 feet below. Hainsworth follows.
Come on, Dr. Beagleswick. We need to...
The door smashes open. Coldwell rushes in and knocks Dr. Beagleswick to the ground. As Tom jumps from the window, Coldwell runs to the opening. Dazed, Dr. Beagleswick grabs a heavy book and throws at Coldwell, hitting him.
You stupid fool.
Coldwell knocks Dr. Beagleswick unconscious, then bolts from the room and heads outside.
I shall not rest until the shadows of doubt and despair are dispelled, and the light of hope and courage shines brightly upon our path. We must not be swayed by the tempests of life, my dear children, but rather stand firm in our convictions and never falter in our pursuit of happiness and fulfillment.
Good show, everyone. I'm Callus, your We the Kids reporter here in London, and we're delighted to have had you join us for our next episode of Britfield and the Lost Crown. Cheerio, and thank you for listening in. All of us at We the Kids wish you a very Merry Christmas. God bless you.
We hope you enjoyed our interpretation of Britfield and the Lost Crown. The podcast for you to share will be available on americaoutloud.news/We the Kids and wethekids.us websites. And also, we have an exciting gift for you. Anyone who makes a donation on our We the Kids website will be entered to win a signed copy of the Welcome to the World of Britfield trilogy series. There will be 3 drawings held on December 15th. You can purchase the series at wethekids.us. And please remember to include We the Kids in the memo. We invite you to join us next week for the next segment of Britfield and the Lost Crown. To learn more about Britfield Adventures, please visit our website at wethekids.us. Happy holidays from all of us at Britfield Adventures and We the Kids.